I want to pivot. How do you two feel about Adam Scott?
Adam Scott.
Let's see what else he
What
was
do I
in.
know him from?
Let's see what else he was in. He was in Parks and Rec.
Yeah, so he's in Severance, right?
Yes, I'm going to talk
Is that
about
why
Severance.
is that
for a
why you're
minute.
bringing it up?
Yes.
Yeah, because I saw that pop up on IMDb recently.
So
Adam Scott, he's hit or miss for me.
yes.
And I think that's always like where he's always been. He's always lived in that kind of like he could be in something great, or he could, but he's always played like a jerk.
So the reason why I'm bringing it up,
which might be good or bad, I don't know.
the reason why I'm
Depends
bringing
on
it up
what
is
you're
because I do want to talk about Severance for a minute. I watched. Somebody recommended it to me, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out. I watched the first episode, and I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to continue with the series. Adam Scott is he's like warm milk in this show. I can't I can't get on board with his character in this show at all. And that would be fine if there were other compelling characters. Another thing that bothers me about the show is John Turturro he's turned down from the 11 where he normally is to about a 2. He's so monotone. He's so
you can't put Adam Scott and John Turturro together.
John Turturro should be like and for what the show is about, John Turturro should be like the cuffs should come off and John Turturro should be allowed to be John Turturro, but he's not.
Yeah.
They completely dialed him down, and just like, or at least in the first episode they do. I don't know what happens later on, but yeah. And the reason why it upsets me so much is because the concept is fascinating. The concept of
what is the concept?
The concept of Severance is they work for this company, and when they enter the building, they almost have a completely separate consciousness from when they leave the building, so that their home life and their work life do not mingle together at all. You're in the building, you're working for this company, you do your job, you leave, and you forget about everything that happened in there. It's like an implant they put in you. Here you go.
Concept.
It's really interesting. It's really interesting. And when they opened it up, they open it up with this woman who's new to the company, and she's like sprawled out on a table, and they're going through everything with her, like to make sure that the implant took effect. Who are you? What's your name? Where did you grow up? What color were your mother's eyes? And she wasn't able to answer anything. And then here we go. We're off. And it's like, that's fascinating. This is an amazing concept of like,
wow,
the way the brain works and blah. It's incredible. But Adam Scott kills it for me. I can't do it. I couldn't get past the first episode. And normally I watch more than one, but
he's just not believable, or it's just because
he is an actor that's hard to take serious.
Yeah, he's
right.
So,
he looks like he's always ready to joke. He was he in Recreation or one of those shows or whatever?
Parks and Recreation.
I'm looking at Parks and Recreation. Evidently,
it was Parks.
Evidently, I don't remember him in Step Brothers, but evidently he was in that.
He was the other brother. Yeah.
You're
and he
right.
was a jerk.
You are right.
Yeah.
You are 100%
He's
right.
the older brother.
And I watched that movie
now
once, and I hated it. I hated that movie so much.
Yeah. So he's what kills the show for me. Too. I think he's way too milquetoast for this concept.
Yeah.
I think somebody else should have been casted in this role. Him doing this, and it's really one thing that sells it, is like he's outside, he's in his car, and he's getting ready to go into the building, and he's just bawling. He's crying his eyes out, and it's just like,
were there tears in his eyes?
No. I 100% understand where you're coming from with Winona Ryder right now, because I'm looking at him crying. I'm like, this is the fakest. At least with Winona Ryder, there was never like a full-on uncontrollable sob. Here, he's in this car, and it's a full-on uncontrollable sob that is not believable at all.
Well, I will give that, because Winona Ryder, outside of the inability to cry, inability, she still, for the most part, fit the role pretty well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give her that.
Yes.
She fit the role well.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a difference between somebody who, they're a pretty decent actor, but the difference is, if I was the director on that show, I would have gotten I would have done like the eye drops that made it look like she's crying.
100%.
At least.
But the thing is, Winona Ryder in Stranger Things, I don't at least I don't remember a scene where she was like full on bawling, tears, snot, the whole thing. Like that should be going on. It's
Right.
more like she's weeping, she's sad, she's upset, and it's like this soft thing that's going on. Tears or no tears, what she's doing there is passable and believable for me. This scene
Right.
with Adam Scott, where he's like in his car,
different.
and it's like there's nothing believable about what you're doing here at all. I do not take you seriously in this role. I can't do it. And it just, I don't know, it sucked me right out of it. And then just to see John Turturro not be John Turturro bothered me as well. And it's just like, the show has such an amazing concept that I want to get into because it's the kind of sci-fi that's right up my alley. It's the kind of sci-fi that's up all of our alley. Like, I think the two of you would enjoy it as well for the concept of what it is. The hang up for me is Adam Scott. I can't. I just nah. I kind of checked out. I might go back and try it again. Like maybe I have to try it again with fresh eyes and leave it alone for a little while. But right now it's. But yeah, that was. Yeah. Ugh.
So are you saying to watch the show or not watch the show?
I'm saying watch the pilot. If you are interested in what I said, the concept of what I said, watch the pilot. If it works for you, great. I introduced something that everybody liked. If not, so be it. I gave my hangups. Those are my hangups about it. I just no.
Yeah.
I could see somebody else should have been in this role. Somebody else should be doing.
So the concept is great. It's just the choice of this particular choice of this particular actor just kind of takes it out of
the concept, and the
aesthetic.
Aesthetic of the show is amazing too, because it's like their office is like in one room and there's nothing, and their cubicles are like interlocked with each other, and they're just kind of like sitting in this square, and there's nothing else around them. Like it's an empty room, and it's like what you don't know what they do. Like it leaves a lot up in the air, and it's like that's the visual of what this place is. The mystery of what this place is intriguing, and other things that are going on that you see like in the background is really fascinating. But Adam Scott is the centerpiece, and he and he has to be the one to sell this. I don't think he did it.
But he's not.
I don't think he
selling
does.
it.
I don't think he does.
Who do you think would have been who do you think would have fit the role well?
I really haven't given that much thought.
Is it like a psychological sci-fi thriller?
Yes. Yeah. That's kind of the road that they're going down with this. I haven't given much thought to who would be a good fit.
Like a John Krasinski?
No. Well,
no.
You're on. I can't believe that I'm going to say this. Almost like I can't believe I'm going to say this name. I could see like a Steve Carell doing a halfway decent job at something like this, because like it's a combination between like how zany and out there he was in The Office, and like the mystical serious undertone of that Almighty movie that he did, like the Bruce Almighty sequel or whatever it was, like that. And I saw him in something else where I thought he was halfway decent. Like it's almost like this would be a really good transition for him, because I could see him doing this a lot more than this. I just could. I don't know why. I don't know why Steve Carell.
I could see him doing something like that, because he has, when he stepped outside of doing like the Superbad style 40-year-old virgin style movies.
Yes.
He broke into other, like, more of a family genre. Like he did Crazy Stupid Love. He did a couple other things. But when he stepped out of that, his acting ability grew. I think if a company like A24 got their hands on a Steve Carell, he would blossom. He would blossom to a greater thing.
I'm gonna say another name. I'm gonna say another name. Dennis Leary.
Yeah.
Dennis Leary. Here's why.
Really?
Here's why. There was a season.
You don't know who Dennis Leary is, do you?
You have to. He has to know who Dennis Leary is. Anyways, Dennis Leary.
He doesn't know. Rescue me.
I know who Dennis
Demo-
Leary
yeah,
is.
see, let me
Okay,
continue.
well,
There is a
He
there
was
is-
the Cybertooth on Ice.
Sabretooth. Yeah, he was Sabretooth.
Sabretooth Tiger on Sabretooth Tiger on.
I'm sorry, but if that's the first thing you bring up, then you don't know who Dennis Leary
So
is.
I say Dennis Leary because there's a story arc in Rescue Me where he starts taking his wife's antidepressants, and the switch from him being a lunatic to docile, he pulls off. It's amazing. It's incredible.
But you could see him.
And
go,
there's even like
so you could see,
this one scene where he pops the pill, then he gets in his car and he's driving and he's super angry, but slowly the anger starts to fade, and then he starts to bring on the smile where the drugs are kicking in, and it's like that is the type of character that should be playing in a role like this.
Yeah.
That's why I say Dennis
Gwen-
Leary, because that
Gwen Stacy's father. Okay,
Yes.
I know who Dennis Leary is.
I'm sorry. When we're talking about actors, we don't talk about the voices they play.
You had already named off. You had already named off the few that I would have thought of if I didn't.
I didn't. What did I name off?
Rescue Me.
I said Rescue Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's the big TV show that he's in. That was the first thing I thought of, and I was just continuing your list.
But yeah.
I know who Dennis Leary is.
Yeah, he's the guy from Ice Age. Sorry.
Okay.
It's just,
so is Ray Romano.
Everybody goes.
Anyways,
Everybody loves Raymond.
That's what I brought to the table.
Okay.
So yeah, Severance. Check it out.
I will check it out. That looks pretty.
Check out
I
the
will.
pilot. Check out
I
the
saw
pilot
it pop
episode.
up today. I saw it pop up.